Welcome back to Spainguru. I am Bruno, and this is part 2 of our deep dive into Spanish citizenship by residence with Ainhoa Manero from Sterna Abogados. In this video, we'll tackle more of your pressing questions, from preparing for citizenship exams to whether applying through Spanish ancestry might be the better option. We'll also break down pathways for minors, dependents, and even digital nomads, while covering key topics like criminal history checks, tax implications, and dual citizenship. Curious about fast-track options or applying while living in another EU country? We got you covered. Let's dive in. Does having a Spanish ancestry affect the process for gaining citizenship by residence?
Yes. If you are your father or your grandfather or mother, of course, was Spanish, you can have it after 1 year. Okay, so sometimes we mix ways of getting it, because now you can go through the Ley de Memoria Democrática, that you don't have to live here. That is not going to be by residency, okay? But there is not always that kind of way to get it. So La Ley de Memoria Democrática is going to finish in 2025. So if you are now listening to this and it's not the Ley de Memoria Democrática, then you can get it through residency much quicker than the 10 years or whatever is your case. After 1 year, you can apply for it.
What is the process for minors or dependents of someone applying for Spanish citizenship?
Yes, this is a very interesting question, because there are people that don't know that if you get, for example, if you get nationality, okay, by residency, and your children are not living in Spain, they can get it, not immediately, but there is a way, okay, it's called nacionalidad por opción, that they can get it. So they don't need to live here. If you have if you obtain the nationality, they can then apply for it even if they don't live here. But having said that, if you and your children are living here, then you have two options and you have to choose. So because you get it, it's not automatically that they give it to your children. If you want, you can do the same application for your children. Okay, so applying by residency. Maybe if your child was born here in Spain, remember it's just 1 year. Okay, maybe it's after 10 years like you are doing it, but you need to apply for them if they want the Spanish nationality also. Or, as I said, maybe you don't do it that way. You do first yours, and then they can do the nacionalidad por opción. This is important, for example, if they are a little close to the 18 years old, that we are mayoría de edad, okay? Because the nacionalidad por opción, the one that they don't even need to live here, they can live or not live, and they apply when you get the Spanish passport, is just available until they are 18. So if you are doing it and your child is 16 and your child also meets the requirement of the 10 years, my recommendation is to do it as residency also, okay? If they are 3 years old, then of course you will be able to do the nacionalidad por opción, so it's up to you. In any case, for them, it's even easier because they don't do the exams. They don't do the Spanish exam and they don't do the cultural exam. So you can go through residency and just have it, and even you can choose one or the other if you have gotten the nationality and they haven't even can go yet gotten the nationality by residency. You can say, okay, I get it by option instead of by residency. But in any case, as I said, the two options are okay. This is more useful for the people that really their children are outside, because they will not have the way of residency if they don't live in Spain.
How do you prove integration into Spanish society during the application process?
Well, after it was more difficult. Now they understand that you are integrated if you pass the exam. Is one of the criteria they have to be integrated is have the cultural knowledge enough in Spain and not having criminal records.
Can you apply for citizenship while living in a different EU country, but with Spanish residency?
Well, if that is the case, you can, but really you shouldn't. Okay, so let me explain you. If you are living in a different country of Europe, okay, you should have that other residency. okay? But it's true that if you still have the Spanish residency, there are not so many ways for Spain to detect that you are outside. At least right now, things are getting every day more modern, okay, and more connected. But at least right now, they don't have the way to verify, for example, your flights, or they don't do it. They don't check if you are flying to Germany every week. So really, if you have the residency permit in Spain and there is no residency in another country of Europe, normally you could get the Spanish nationality, but you could get it because they don't know the fact, because really legally they expect you to be in Spain.
This is something that you won't recommend. Of course, the rule is having to
As a lawyer, I cannot recommend to do anything against the law, but it's true that
it is hard to enforce. It is hard to enforce and hard to know for Spanish authorities that you are not physically present in Spain, because Schengen is borderless. So there's no way to know as of today. Is it possible to expedite somehow the citizenship process under certain conditions?
Two ways. There is this way to go through the bar association that, as I said, is quicker, okay, because they do a pre-filter. And the other option is after a year of waiting, you can go to the court. It's mandatory for the court to resolve your case if you've been waiting for a year and the Ministry of Justice hasn't answered.
What are the costs involved in applying for Spanish citizenship by residents?
There is the application fee. There are the exam fees if you need to do the exam. And also, don't forget legalizations, translations. Maybe it also are a cost for you. For sure, the translations.
So if I had to give like a round number for the fees and the applications, how much would that be around as of today in 2024?
Doing the exams, okay, I always say to take into account 350 euros, 400 to have everything ready with exams, fees, and translations.
Are there any tax implications for someone gaining Spanish citizenship by residence?
Well, you need to know that the taxes in Spain is not because of your nationality, but because of your residency. So really, when you have had 183 days in Spain, you are tax resident. It doesn't change if you become Spanish.
How does Spain view applicants who have lived in multiple countries before applying?
Well, the only important thing for Spain is that you need to submit criminal records, okay? You don't, it doesn't count if you have lived in some other countries in Europe for these 2 years or 10 years that they asked for, to you.
Can digital nomads or remote workers apply for citizenship by residence after living in Spain?
Yes, any kind of residence in Spain counts towards Spanish citizenship. The only one is student, okay? That doesn't count. But nomads count. This is a very common question. Yes, it is valid to obtain the Spanish nationality.
Once you obtain Spanish citizenship, how can you help family members obtain theirs?
Well, your husband or wife can get it after 1 year of registering your marriage. So this is important. Register your marriage in Spain once you got your Spanish citizenship. Your children that are minor can get it directly, not directly, but applying for nacionalidad por opción. They don't have to live here a certain amount of time. And the ones that are older, no, the ones that are older, nada.
Unfortunately, the ones that are older than 18, they just can't do it. They have to do it separately with their own circumstances,
exactly.
Right? If an American becomes a Spanish citizen, will they lose the benefits of the Spain-US tax treaty?
But no, I don't think so.
I heard this. Like, for example, now, public pensions from the US, okay?
Yeah.
According to the Spanish-US tax treaty, those pensions are not taxable, okay? So when you're American and you're a resident in Spain, your double taxation agreement permits not to pay taxes on your public pensions. But once you become Spanish, Spain doesn't recognize you as an American citizen, and they will start taxing your public pension from the US as normal income. Is this like this?
So I'm not a tax expert, but I wouldn't support that opinion, because your pension is because you obtained that right because you were American, okay? So because you were American, you were getting that pension. And I think you could fight that and don't get taxes in your pension from the US because you got the right through all your life. But really, this is for a tax advice.
Next one. Can an American or British citizen keep the original nationality after becoming Spanish, or do they have to renounce it?
Yeah, for Spain, they have to give up the nationality. That doesn't mean that their own country recognize that declaration to Spain.
If I am eligible for the 2-year fast track, how long can I be outside of Spain before applying for Spanish citizenship? For example, if I am on a non-lucrative visa.
So the thing is that now a non-lucrative visa allows you not to be in Spain. This is more or less new since the last Supreme Court ruling. But if you want the Spanish nationality, maximum 3 months out of Spain. That is our recommendation. It's not really written in the law. It's also criteria by the courts.
I can apply for Spanish citizenship through the Ley de Memoria Democrática at my local consulate or through residency after 2 years in Spain. Which option is better and or faster?
I think it's better the Ley de Memoria Democrática, okay, because you get a nationality which is not the residencia, is by origin, okay? And normally it's also faster and you don't have to do the exams. So if you were in these two situations, of course you can do both, and get the one that is quicker, granted. But I think the best option will be Ley de Memoria Democrática.
Is there any advantage to obtain the Spanish citizenship by origin versus by residency?
It's not directly an advantage to you, but normally it gives more rights for your descendants, okay? So for example, someone can get residency or nationality faster if they are descendant of a Spanish citizen by origin. So it's normally for your granddaughters or grandsons will be better if you have the nationality by origin.
I obtained the Spanish residency using an American passport, but I am also holder of an Ibero-American passport. Can I benefit from the 2-year fast track?
Yes, you can, but be careful with this because the law says that you cannot. The law says that you can only get the advantage of the 2 years track if you have the residency with that passport. But even that the law says that, there was like a speech by the Ministry of Justice saying that they were going to be flexible with that, and that even if you have the nationality with the residency with the other nationality, you could get the advantage of the 2 fast track. But that is not 100% sure because they could change criteria because the law doesn't say that. But it's true that in all the cases we have been successful, and I see that you were also successful.
Ainhoa, can you tell me in short, what are the different pathways towards Spanish citizenship if I enter Spain with a student visa?
Yes, well, your path is at some point changing to a residency, okay? You can switch modifying to cuenta propia or to cuenta ajena. That is for a normal student. You can switch directly to a digital nomad, a highly qualified, a family member, doesn't matter. But you need to change to any kind of residency, and then you will start counting towards nationality.
As a Puerto Rican, how can I benefit from the 2-year fast track for Spanish citizenship, and what document do I need to obtain?
You need to obtain the certificate of Puerto Rican citizenship or ciudadanía puertorriqueña. And with that, you will get the 2 years fast track and you will not have to do the Spanish exam either.
Can a person who is Puerto Rican but was born in the United States still be eligible for the 2-year fast track for Spanish citizenship?
So the important thing is to show that you are Puerto Rican from origin, and that will be shown in your certificate of Puerto Rico citizenship. So, yes.
So basically, the Puerto Rican citizenship certificate will state that you are originally from Puerto Rico, and the conditions for this is that either you are born in Puerto Rico, or if you were born outside of Puerto Rico, that any of your parents were from Puerto Rico. But you
exactly.
have to have these ties to Puerto Rico. You just
exactly.
cannot move, let's say, as someone without any ties, move to the island and after 1 year obtain the certificate of ciudadanía puertorriqueña.
Exactly.
I mean, you will be able to obtain it, but on the certificate, it will say that you're not by origin, but by residence.
Exactly. But that happens the same for Puerto Rico or for Colombia. I don't know. if you want the fast track, the 2 years fast track, you have to be from that country that gives you the right from origin, okay? Not because of residency.
Can non-EU parents obtain citizenship through their Spanish child?
No, not really. What they could do is get in residency through their Spanish child, okay? And after the years, 10 years, they could get the Spanish passport, but they don't have a fast track. They have a way to get residency, but not a fast track for nationality.
How can I avoid taking the daily A2 language exam when applying for Spanish citizenship?
Proving that you've studied in Spanish, for example, any university degree in Spanish, but it's important because there are degrees that are in English, okay? So even if they are taken in Spain, so it's important to prove that you took the studies in Spanish.
Spanish long-term residency. Are there any drawbacks to indefinite renewals?
No, I couldn't see any disadvantage because even with the permanent residency, you renew it, but you cannot be here. It's just, you don't even get tax resident if you don't want to be tax resident. So I don't see any disadvantage of renewing the permanent residency.
Can I leave Spain while my Spanish citizenship application is pending?
We said that, yes, you can leave because it's not fair for someone that is waiting for 4 months and already was granted with the nationality, that this person can leave, and someone that is waiting for 1 year cannot leave. So really, you should meet the requirements before the application. After the application, of course, if you can stay in Spain, is safer, but we could defend that situation because the law only asks you to be in Spain before the application.
If I was born in the US, but my parents were born in an Ibero-American country, would my Ibero-American citizenship qualify me for the 2-year fast track to Spanish citizenship?
Normally, yes. So it depends on the law in your country. But if you get your passport of that country from origin because your parents were from that country, yes.
If I am an American with no ties to Ibero-American citizenship and I marry, for example, a Mexican, what are the pathways to obtain the Spanish citizenship?
So you will not get the Spanish citizenship as a wife or a husband of a Mexican because you don't get that nationality by origin. But what you can do is your wife or husband, the Mexican one, comes to Spain, gets the nationality after the 2 years. You register the marriage. You come to live to Spain 1 year, and then you get the Spanish nationality. So remember, you are married to a Spanish national. So after a year of living in Spain, you can get the Spanish passport.
Will I get free healthcare in Spain if I become a Spanish citizen?
Well, this is a very good question because really the law changed some time ago and Spanish citizens don't even have public health because being Spanish. It's because we work, okay? But it's true that they are always getting flexible with that. And when you show that you don't have an income and you don't have the way to get a private insurance, they will give you free public insurance.
Oh, and one more thing. Apparently YouTube says you're gonna love watching this video right here. I think you should watch it.